Welcome to the Wargaming Garage and join us as we dial it up to 11. So, welcome to the Wargaming Garage. The Terrain Guy is here, and this is the first time we've been able to actually meet up and do something in person on the channel. So
I know, we see each other at a club. But,
yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit different. Normally on the channels stuff it's solo hammer, but today we're able to kick things off a little bit differently, and this time there'll be a firstborn on firstborn as the ghosts of the Forge take on the Emperor's children. So it'll be a narrative style. There's a beachhead to be attacked, and we'll go over that mission shortly. But that was just a quick thing to say. You know, this is a little bit different today.
It'll be brutal.
But it should be pretty. Looking at what's behind me, I don't think I fancy it, to be honest. That's it. I concede. Right. Right. See in a bit. So here is what's affectionately known as Bumblebee Point. It's K4813 is the official Imperial record show, but everyone else knows it as Bumblebee Point, and it's become the unwanted attention of the Emperor's children. They translated into the sector. The forward Auspex scans went off and started alerting all the Planetary Defence Force, and the local Planetary Governor and the sector governor decided to put out those calls for aid. And then, as it happens, the only people to respond so far have been the ghosts of the Forge. So this is a narrative-based mission. You'll see we've got a sort of beachhead over here. There are 3 objectives. We've got one objective here, one objective in the centre, and one over on the other side here. And these are basically to represent uplink comm towers, as you can see from the dishes themselves. And so the idea being that the Emperor's children want to nullify as many options for calling down extra support as they can, and then the one in the centre is a generator that actually powers something that we think it lies under Bumblebee Point. The ghosts haven't been briefed on that. They're not sure exactly what it is, but they suspect that there's something more going on, because Bumblebee Point in itself, albeit a relatively lovely place, is also quite unremarkable. It is the frontier planet. It is the pushing the boundaries of the Imperium's stronghold within the sector, but it is still quite unremarkable. So why would the Emperor's children really want to focus on this planet? I'm sure at some point we'll find out. And so here we are with 2,500 points of Emperor's Children. And Gary's going to talk us through exactly what he's got.
So these are the cohorts Nasake. That's Lucius the Eternal just there. And if you've read the Horus Heresy books, this is the remnants of his squad that became traitors with him. And it's now a war band. So we've got 4 squads of Noise Marines. We've got some Legionnaires as well, with chainswords and bolt pistols. We've got some Warp Talons and 3 squads of Terminators. Yes, we can't have lightning claws anymore, so they're just anointed combat weapons, which is absolutely fine. You're in the warp.
The accursed,
accursed weapons. Yeah, well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because when you're in the warp, I suppose names don't matter anymore. Okay.
I think they've lost the lightning claw. Too busy. Like, they can't play a guitar when you've got those kind of things on.
Exactly. And the idea being is that the 3 decimators here will be a bit of a distraction so that this infantry heavy force can get into position and storm that beachhead. So that's what we're aiming for today.
We've got some
cultists, and they are the Arcoflagellant models that they've had an arm removed and a gun put on. I think it looks rather groovy. And we've got an Exalted Champion. He is a legendary Exalted Champion, so he can take a Power Fist and Melter Gun. And we have a legendary sorcerer called the Composer. Now, the Composer and Lucius don't get on. Lucius doesn't trust Psychers, but needs the Composer to get him here to Bumblebee Point. So, and he's got the Endless Grin, which you can see on his face, and he's got a couple of psychic powers, Prescience and Death Hex, to try and nullify some of the invulnerable saves that you've got.
Yes.
There we are.
Yes. Is there anything? So what does that? I am a loyalist through and through. Well, I do have Death Guard, but So what are we?
Okay. So 6s increase the AP.
Okay.
On rolling to hit, and they always fight first because they're Slanesh.
Okay.
And they have got faultless precision, really, so they ignore any modifiers to hit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Sounds particularly brutal.
Yeah.
They look really, really good. They look really, really good. I don't think I like the look of them marching towards me, but I would admire their paint job whilst they were doing it. So it looks really good. Fantastic. So that's your 2,500 points of Emperor's Children. So here we have 2,500 points of the Ghosts of the Forge. There's a little bit slightly different list today as we're running some aircraft. We've got a Storm Raven gunship, and we have a Storm Talon. As you can see, the Storm Talon itself is pretty heavily modified to change the look of it, so it's a little bit more unique. They're headed up today with a jump pack captain who is a chapter master and has just a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield. He's got his second in command with a lieutenant who's got the Teeth of Terror, and he also has a chaplain who's got the Benediction of Fury and a pretty standard Litany of Hate and Mantra of Strength. Beyond that, we do, character-wise, we have a Chief Apothecary, so he should be hopefully doing the business. Past that, we have a squad of Fast Attack. We also have a squad of Vanguard Vets, all with a pair of Lightning Claws. We've got a squad of Assault Centurions, all with Melter Guns and Siege Drills. We have a squad of Assault Terminators, and then 3 pretty standard squads of Tactical Marines. In terms of they're all as you see them, but basically with missile launchers, las cannons, or a flamer. The only thing past that is we've got the esteemed Venerable Dreadnought with a las cannon, and we also have a Contemptor Dread with multi-melter. So you see there's no Primaris in this list. This is not that far into the Ghost story. This has happened many before the Indomitus Crusade and before Guilliman's return. So this is quite some in the distant past of 40k almost at the moment. So that's your 2,500 points of the ghosts. So with that, we'll go on to deployment and the mission. So here we are after deployment. We've got, it's hammer and anvil style to represent the beachhead that needs attacking. So the only bits we've got in reserve for the ghosts are the fact that we've got the Terminators and the Chaplain are in the Storm Raven, and we've got a squad of Marines in the Rhino. Everything else is on the board. The Emperor's Children have had an advanced line. They're holding nothing back. They know they have to get after whatever it is they are after in the subterranean vaults underneath this plains, underneath this frontier outpost. So they've deployed very far forward, holding nothing back. And because narratively it makes sense, the children will go first, because we are the one that's hunkered down. We are the ones that need to be holding the line. So we will try and soak up as much of that first pressure as we can. On the board, just to make everyone aware, this will be treated as dense as it should be. But then all of these we've got the line of sight blocking bits of terrain. These little bits of rocky outcrops and stuff will be treated basically like containers. So if you're near them, you'll get that +1 to your cover save. The same as around these kind of buildings. It is line of sight blocking, but you can gain a cover save. Same at this end. We've got the barricades for the Marines to strategically hide. I mean, take viewpoints, take aim from, not hide. Definitely not hide. And then we've got the Nachman terrain here. The bottom part will not be breachable, but this top part is. So they can be inside. They can work their way through them. And that's it. This is the board. To give you an idea, all of this kind of resin terrain, this pre-painted terrain, is from gamemat.eu. And the mat, I think, is from GameMat as well, from recollection. And then obviously we've got the G-Dub terrain in terms of the Nachman Frontier stuff. So that's it. They're expertly painted by Hobo Joe's commission painting. So do go. I'll put the link down below in the description. Please do go and check him out and keep him busy. You know, those of you remember, he's got 5 kids to feed. You might get that reference, but you might not. Anyway, so with that, that's the mission. That's the deployment. And so what we'll do, without saying anything further at all, we'll go on to Emperor's Children, turn 1. So after the movement phase, nothing to do in the command phase at all. But after the movement phase, you can see the Emperor's Children are quite close. So they've moved their way up the board. The Raptors done a normal movement. The squad of Terminators have advanced. Who else has advanced?
The Noise Marines have advanced as well. The Terminators here have advanced. So everything's advanced forward. Everything's
advanced forward to try and tie up the lines and just try and put pressure on the ghosts. So looking down the table, as you can see, they are pretty close. They're pretty close. So with movement done, we'll head on to the shooting phase. No, we'll head on to the psychic phase. Well remembered.
Yep.
So where do you want to start? Okay.
It's going to cast Smite. I think that will be the nearest unit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need 5. I get an 8.
Excellent.
Okay, so it's D3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
And I do 2 mortal wounds.
Okay, so that pops 1. My apothecary is not within 3, so let's pop the bolter. Bye-bye.
And for this unit here of Noise Marines, whose weapons are assault weapons, it's going to cast Prescience to give them a +1 to hit.
Okay.
And he needs a warp charge of prescience 7. That doesn't go off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So on to the shooting phase.
Yeah. Right.
So starting off with the Devastator with his, what do you call them, soul burner
Soul burner
thingies.
petards.
Yeah.
Thingies.
Okay. Into the Devastator.
Soul burners. So I get 2d3 assault with both of them. So technically, I should probably roll 4 altogether.
Yep.
And I'll do them. The symbols on my dice are 6s, and the combination of Slanesh and Emperor's Children dice. So that one there gets 1, 3,
Yeah.
and this one here 6, 4. Yeah, great. So 7 attacks.
7 attacks.
So
Okay. So
5 of
5
hit.
hits.
But on these, because it's a soul burner, a 2+ inflicts 1 mortal wound. So
Okay.
there's no strength on these weapons.
Okay.
So there are 5 mortal wounds against the Devastators.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Soul burner at the back is going to do the same again on those Devastators. The reason why I'm targeting the Devastators is because obviously they've got multi-mortars
Yeah.
and they're going to hurt.
They tend to.
So I've got no choice. So we get
That's 6.
6. Wow, yeah, crikey, I'm glad your maths is here, mine isn't. 3s to hit. Oh, that's horrible. Okay. 2s to do a mortal wound. 1 mortal wound.
Okay.
That
That kills that last multi-melter.
Okay.
Okay, so he's gone, leaving 1 melter remaining.
So this unit here that have advanced have got assault weapons so they can fire. They're going to fire their sonic blasters into this tactical unit
Okay.
here.
Okay.
They get 3 shots each. They need 3s to hit normally, but 2s will be okay because of the +1 from prescience.
Yeah.
They're only strength 4.
It didn't go off.
It didn't go off.
No.
It didn't go off.
So it'll be still be 3s.
3s.
That's good.
Overexcited. Overexcited. There we are. I was hoping for it. There we are. There we are.
I don't think it's made too much difference.
No, I don't think it has, to be fair.
I think
That's
it's
okay.
still good.
So strength 4, toughness 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need 4s. Only 1 wound though.
Oof. Okay.
No exalted champion there to do any re-rolls, so
So what's the...
no AP at all. Because it would be normally AP -1. Armour of Contempt
and
drops
then,
that down
and then
behind
next
the
to
barrier.
barricade, so it's 2 up save.
2 up save.
Right, let's go.
Oh no.
What's the damage?
Just 1 damage.
So I'm here to stay. I'm here all week.
6 attacks with the Blastmaster on its varied frequencies. I need 3s to hit. Again, Slanesh,
Oof.
not concentrating. They're taking too much pleasure in coming forward. You know.
They're all hanging. They've been in. They've been partying all night long.
Strength 5, toughness 4, need 3s. 2
2
wounds. Okay.
And what's the minus on that?
-2.
-2 becomes -1, and with a barricade, so 3 ups.
3 ups. And they do 2 damage each.
So that kills the one.
Yeah.
Kills another one.
There we are.
Excellent.
Okay. There we go.
So a slight edit. We do have an apothecary within 3. So on that one that would have taken a wound on the 6 up, no, he takes it anyway. And these 2 damage each. So the first one, it does kill that one on 1 wound, and the second one, it kills him as well. So actually, it made absolutely no difference. So moving our way around to this last Devastator here with the Butcher Cannons.
Go for the tacticals.
Straight into the Tactical Marines, okay.
So the Butcher Cannons, needing 3s to hit. That's not bad at all.
That's very good.
Very good. Don't get an exploding 6 because it's not an Astarte, it's a Demon Engine.
Okay.
Okay, and then I need 3s to wound. That's all wounding except 1. So 6 wounds.
So 6 wounds.
And then -2.
Okay. Okay, so 6 at -2 because of the Armour of Contempt and Barricade again. It is 3 ups. So 2 go through. So they're 2 damage each. So with the Apothecary there on the first one, saves 1 and kills you. So it kills 1.
Yeah.
There's no point doing the other roll. Okay, so it only kills 1. So with the Galaxy Burn rule, rolled pretty well for them. Got 15 attack, 15 auto hits with the Flamers. So strength 4, toughness 4, so force to wound.
Force to wound. So there
What have we got?
altogether 8 wounds. Just check. 10 wounds.
10 wounds.
10 wounds.
But no AP against a barricade, so 10 2-ups. Which they're all fine. Okay, so moving around to the side of the board, we've spent 2 CP on excruciating frequencies, which basically gives mortal wound on 6s to wound, and also with a successful, is it a successful hit, I think it is?
Yeah.
They can't set to defend or overwatch the unit it goes against, so...
Right. Freeze to hit. I am not in range of my Warlord. I need 4s to wound. Any 6s are mortal wounds as well. None.
Oh.
So just 2 wounds. No AP.
So 2 2-ups, because the barricade, they're fine.
And then I've got the Blast Master on its varied frequencies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need freeze to hit. Hit with 3 of them.
Bang average.
I'm going to need freeze to wound. No wounds.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame.
So the joy of running forward. Yeah, we're there.
I think they're a bit out of breath.
And then they didn't concentrate.
told
This is
you.
the thing about being a servant of Slanesh.
They could have done with a breakfast sandwich just to soak everything up after
That's right.
after hard partying.
That's right.
So who are we on to next then?
So we've got none here because they're out of range.
Okay.
But it's just this one final unit here. I'm gonna have to do a bit of measuring to
Okay.
see if the Blastmaster is in range of that Dreadnought,
Okay.
which is 48. So yeah,
Yeah,
it will
well,
be.
well within. Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna use its heavy profile, which is heavy 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it a go and see. And any 6s I get, because of I'm in wanton destruction, means I get an extra hit. But let's see. I've got to hit you first. So freeze. Hit you with 2.
Yep.
No exploding 6s. Well, that was not.
That's a
very
shame.
good. It's a shame. I'm crying now. Right. So what's your toughness?
On that, it'll be toughness 7.
So I'm going to need freeze to wound. 1 wound and 3 damage.
Okay, so -3 becomes -2, so 5 ups. No, so 3 damage becomes 2 damage because of the reduction in damage. Okay, so end of the shooting phase. It's been pretty brutal in terms of that Devastator squad, but we've managed to weather the storm so far over on the Ghost's right hand flank. So now let's look at charges.
So there is a stratagem that enables you to add 6 to your charge roll. So you use one of your dice as a 6, and then you roll again for the other one.
Oh, okay,
to see if
right,
you
a
can
bit
get
like
in.
miracle dice kind of thing.
So sort of thing for these. The difficulty is where now they've gone. It's going to be quite a sizable charge for them. It's going to have to be at least a 10-inch charge for these to get into combat with these tacticals. So that's what I'm going to try.
Okay,
So
with attack marines.
Yeah, the attack marines. So
Okay.
I need a 6. I
Okay.
get a 6 already, and
Yeah.
D6, so I'm going to need a 4 or better, really. I do.
No, you're in.
So we're in combat.
Okay, so we're playing Vicious Descent. As you can see, the Warp Talons have landed. We're rolling for about 6, we reckon, models in there. So anything greater than my toughness will be a mortal wound.
So 4 mortal wounds.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
There we are.
So we just rolled off camera for the apothecary and managed to keep the last cannon alive with 1 wound, given the amount of attacks about to come in. Do you want to pile in?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll move that dice so we can get the... We know he's on 1 wound, we know he's going to die, but at least get your pile in done.
Yeah. Okay.
So working it out, we think we're looking at about... Here's some drone footage for you.
Seven
Working
for
about
mine.
seven are going to be in. So
7 of 9.
So-
Sorry.
but they don't get hateful assault stuff now. It's just a baked in number of attacks, isn't it now?
Yeah. So they're going to need freeze to hit for the first volley, the first swipe.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 hits so far.
Yeah.
Let's see what wounds. Okay, I can re-roll the wound rolls. To one side. Okay, so those there, the ones on 6s are -3.
I'm going to do those first.
So you've got 4 -3s to do, and then the rest are -2.
Okay.
But -3 would be -2 anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
And what's the rest of them?
And
more?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more.
Oh, he's dead.
Dead. Okay.
Oh, not bad. Tell you what, by 3. Yeah, he's well dead. Just a apothecary roll quick. He's still dead.
Still dead.
So, with the removal of quite a brutal first turn, there'll be a morale to do for this melter, which he is fine. I don't think he wants to still be around. I think he'd rather go and have a couple of Horlicks and sit down for a bit and think about his life choice, but either way, he's still there. The Talons have consolidated in to tag the Apothecary and tag the Melter Marine. So we'll do a couple of attacks back off camera, but I don't expect anything too spectacular on that one. So at the end of the Emperor's Children first turn, they are pressing down. They are making advances on that line. They are putting pressure on the Space Marines. So we'll do the attacks back off camera and then we'll move on to Space Marines turn 1. So at the end of the movement phase for the Ghosts, there's a little bit of thinking had to go on and what, about how aggressive to actually be. So the chapter master's given re-rolls to himself, and him and the lieutenant, him and his lackey have moved up the board. The melter from the Devastate squads fell back, and the squad of Marines has disembarked from the Rhino, and the Dreadnoughts have sort of moved their way forward to start to hold that line. Again, Vanguard vets and the fast attack decided that the best form of thing to do is to defend high up the battle grid. So there's no sidekick in this army. The Storm Talon and the Storm Raven have moved up the board, and the entire squad of Terminators and the Chaplain are still on the Storm Raven. So all that being said, I'll move on to the shooting phase. So looking at some target priority here. Basically, you're halfway through the shooting phase at the moment. This squad of Tactical Marines and this squad of Tactical Marines all fired into the Warp Talons, managed to finish one off. This squad of fast attack Assault Marines managed to kill off 2 with pistols and flamer, and the Vanguard vets have done nothing so far. They've got a plasma pistol and it missed. Oh no, it did 1 damage, didn't it? Yeah, it did 1 damage, that's right. So now moving on to some of the more heavy hitting bits. It's a little bit of target priority now. So what I can't afford to do is leave things like these Devastators roaming across the board. So I think I have a slight plan of action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop everything from this last cannon. We'll start with this last cannon into the first Devastator up there. So last cannons into the Devastator and flamers into the Terminators. I know it's not really a thing, but it's I think they'll be fine with the flamers. So 2 hits from the last cannon. Strength 9, toughness
7, I believe.
So 3's to wound. And I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that. So 2 wounds, Well, actually, well, on your 5 up demon save.
Yeah.
Because -5.
Nope.
Okay, so 2d6 for 7.
7. Okay, so that one's got 5 left.
Okay, not bad. Flamers into the Terminators for 3. No wounds. So I'm going to try and overkill it. So I think we're going to go Contempt of Dread. Everything from the Contempt of Dread will go into it. We'll start with the Trace of Fire from the Storm Bolters. So 3 hits, 5 to wound. It's 2 wounds. No minus.
1 save, 1 wound taken.
Okay, so what's he got? 4 left.
6.
6 left.
6 left.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the multi-melter. So hitting on 3s. So 1 hit. I've already spent the CP. 3s to wound. It wounds. Straight on your demon save.
Yeah. Save.
Oh. So moving on to this Storm Talon, we're going to split fire because, as somebody once said, it always works. So the twin assault cannons will go into
The Noise Marines or the towers?
the Noise Marines,
Okay.
and the Typhoon missile launcher will go into this Devastator. So start with the assault cannons. So 3s to wound. That's not bad. That's 3, 6, 7 wounds. -1 becomes -0.
Lose a Noise Marine.
Use a Noise Marine. Okay. So the crack missiles into the Devastator. 1 hit, 1 miss. 3s to wound. No wounds. Okay. So that Storm Talon's fired, and then the Devastator has weathered the storm. So now we'll move on to this Storm Talon and just have a bit of a think about where to split everything up. So the Storm Talon's fired most of its bolter weaponry and managed to cause 1 wound on that squad and 1 wound at that squad. We've split the fire everywhere. So I'm making the assumption, because it's got the Storm Strike missile and it's got a Typhoon missile launcher, so both of the missiles will go into this Devastator. So we'll start with the Storm Strike, which is 1, which hits. Strength 8, toughness 7, so 3s to wound. Doesn't wound. Okay. And then crack missile from the Typhoon. 2 hits, 1 wound. -2.
Is it 5 not preferable? No.
So D6 damage. For 3.
So it's down to 2.
Down to 2 wounds. The only thing left to shoot is going to be these Assault Marines. So everything from the Assault Marines will go into these Warp Talons.
Yeah.
I need to start whittling them down. They're too close for my liking. So that'll be 18 shots coming in from the Hurricane Bolters into the Warp Talons. Hitting on 3s. Strength 4, toughness 4, so 4s to wound.
6 too many there.
So 6 2-up saves for the Warp Talon.
Of course, because they're in the barrier.
Because they're inside that barrier. You start tanking it on those.
Lose.
Lose 1.5.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'll
Not
take
bad.
that for now. And then on to the melter shots. So 6 melter shots coming in. Getting hit on 3s. Not bad. Strength 8, toughness 4, so only on 2s. So all 4 wounds. -4,
Okay.
so no save. Unless you get your demon save, do you?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think it's on Warp Talons.
No.
So I've just checked to see what is in and what isn't in. No, nothing's in half range.
No.
So the first one kills 1.
Yep.
Second one kills 1. Third one doesn't kill. So yeah, so 3 dead.
3 dead.
Okay, so everything seems to have shot across the board. So now have a little think about charges, because there's definitely going to be some. So there's going to be a bunch of charges across the board. I think there's going to have to be. I don't think we'd sit back. I think we'd meet the threat head on. It seems to make a lot of sense. So both the lieutenant and captain are going to charge into the Psyker and this Devastator over here, try and tie them up. Both the Venerable and the Contemptor are going to attempt to go into this squad of Terminators. These two squads of Tactical Marines will attempt to charge this squad of Warp Talons. And over here on this flank, this Assault Squad will go into the squad of Noise Marines, and the squad of Vanguards will go into the squad of Legionnaires over here. So there's quite a lot. Gary's going to go for Overwatch on these Noise Marines. So,
and I'm going to try and use excruciating frequencies as well.
Okay.
Trying to knock at least a couple of their number out.
Okay, so let's roll for that then.
So the first things first is the Sonic Blasters. There's only two, because I'm going to use the something else in a minute, which I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
So I'm going to need 6s.
Yeah.
So 2 hits.
2 so far, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to need 4s to wound. Neither of them wound.
Okay.
Then I've got the Blastmaster. 1 hit.
Yep.
Wounds.
Yep.
It's -3.
Becomes -2. It's 5 on the 6.
There we are.
Okay, so we'll roll for the charges off camera
Yep.
and come back at the start of the fight phase.
Just got one more thing.
Okay, so charges were attempted. The captain and the lieutenant got in. The dreadnoughts, both of them failed. The assault marines got in, but the Vanguard vets also failed. But down here, to try and tie up the Warp Talons and see what we can do here to just clear this first line, we've got both squads of tactical marines in. So, got some decisions to make, because obviously we have this alternating thing of charging units, but Emperor's Children always fight first. So, I think the thing I'm going to do is I am going to put everything. I'll start with the captain. It makes sense. The captain into the Devastator, because I want to limit that as well. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to kill it, but I'm certainly going to do it as much damage as I can. So I'll get some dice ready and we'll start there.
Got you.
Okay, so but you can re-roll everything as his chapter master. So we're going to start with the captain. It makes sense. I don't want to risk that him getting attacked. So he gave re-rolls to himself. So he's hitting on 3s because of the Thunder Hammer, and 6s explode. That is not bad. I do apologise.
Very good indeed.
Very rude, I know. That's 3 additional attacks so far, and he'll re-roll those. So he drops 1, but gets 3 more put back in again. So it's now strength 9. We've added it in such a way from recollection, and do comment and tell me if it's wrong, but I believe it's times the strength first and then add the +1 for Imperium Sword. So that will make him strength 9 versus toughness 7, so 3s to wound. Oh dear. Okay, so that is 5 wounds.
Enough to kill him.
Yes.
And his demon
yes.
save.
So if he fails all those, please, thank you.
I saved 4 of them.
So that's 3 wounds.
3 wounds.
That's excellent. So he's done well there. Okay, so the sorcerer's hitting back to
the I'm attacked by 2.
Yes.
But I'm got a feeling that he can't hit me now. So
No.
I'm gonna go for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
So I get 5 attacks and 3s to hit. 3 of them.
Yep.
It's +3 on my strength, so strength 7, toughness 3, and he frees. So that one's -2.
Yep.
And that one is no AP, because a force stave is only -1.
Okay, so start with the -2 becomes -1. So he's fine.
Yep.
And then he's also fine.
There we are. Okay.
So I'll start back with the... I need to get some dice together for the lieutenant.
Yes.
Okay.
There we are.
Okay, so we're going to fight back. I want to get rid of that Psyker. We've tied the Devastator up, so that's done its job. We'll hit everything from the Lieutenant into the Psyker. So those 2 1s go back in again because of exploding 6s. His strength 5 against toughness 4, so because of the Teeth of Terror, so it'd be 3s to wound. That's not bad. That's not bad, Gary. That is 6.
6.
At -2 becomes -1.
So 6 4-ups.
Yeah. Each one does 2 damage.
Oh, that could kill.
That's what I'm hoping.
So I save 2 of them. And what's the damage?
2 each.
I believe the character's dead. But she does have she, it, it's Slanesh, who knows, does have endless grin.
Okay.
So once it's dead and destroyed, on a 3+, I can set her back up. Okay, and she has D3 wounds remaining.
Cool.
So I do that now.
Yeah.
And the model has a grin on its face. So she gets back up.
Brilliant.
For 3 wounds.
3 wounds,
So
lovely.
she's on 3
Very
wounds.
good. Very good.
I can't.
So everything's fought across the board, pretty much going back and forth. We've managed to whittle the warp talons down to 3 remaining across the board, but lost a couple in our for the privilege. So the last thing to fight is the squad of fast attack, the squad of assault marines. So there's quite a number coming in because of shock assault and extra attacks for the chainsword. So everything hitting on 3s and 6s exploding. So let's hope for a lot of 6s. Okay, so force to wound. We'll be -1, but no minus now, so 3 up saves.
Okay, so I lose 2. I lose 2. Yep.
Okay, the one was on 1 move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So that...
I'm going to fight again here.
Ooh.
Using
spicy.
Using Hatred Eternal.
Okay, spicy.
It is a bit spicy, but I feel like they're going to die else, if that's okay.
A spicy meatball, that is. Right, yeah, cool.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you go for it. No, you're all good. No, it's all good.
And then, so same unit. Going to need 3s to hit.
This into the Thunderhammer unit.
Thunderhammer unit, yeah, because they're the ones who did the hurt.
They did do a little bit of hurt.
Yeah. And force to wound, re-rolling the wands. Or re-rolling all because of the claws.
Yeah.
So wound. Okay. So we've got 10 wounds, aren't you?
10 wounds,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, here we go. And so lose 1.5.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sounds good. It's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
And so morale just been passed for both the squads that have lost a significant number. For the ghosts, of course they fail. Of course they do. Right, so they lose 1. And will the sergeant stay? Yeah, he does. Yeah, excellent. So that's the end of the first round of Bumblebee Point. The pressure is already mounting. If we're looking down the line here, all we can see is Lucius pressing on his warband to get to the point that they need to get to this generator, to get to this subterranean vault. Everything else, we've advanced the line forward, we've tried to give a higher point of contact and see if we can hold them off and do what we need to do, but let's see what happens in Emperor's Children 2. turn 2. Okay, so at the end of the movement phase, the Noise Marines have advanced forward. We've had the squad that was in combat with the Assault Marines has fell back to be replaced with a line of Terminators. The Lucius's cohort have moved forward. Is almost his retinue are advancing towards the lines, towards these dreadnoughts. And down the side here, the cultists have made headway on that on the Emperor's Children left-hand flank. So that's movement done, and so we'll head on to the psychic phase.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Smite into him.
Makes sense.
And then I'll do prescience as well.
Onto those. Yeah. Okay.
So smite first. Does it go off? Yes.
Yeah.
D3 for 3 mortal wounds.
Kills that Marine.
Yeah, thank goodness.
There you go.
And then I need a 7. Comes off this time, so that unit of Noise Marines have got plus 1 to hit.
Okay.
Okay, there we are.
So we're partway through this shooting phase. There's been a few developments. The Storm Talon had everything whittled away by the Noise Marines, and the Storm Raven is down to 6 wounds remaining. So there's been a lot of work by the Devastators to whittle this gunship down. So coming up the board now and looking at these Assault Marines, Noise Marines, which are going to go into this lead Venerable Dreadnought. Yeah. Okay.
So the I'm doing it as assault because they've advanced as well.
Yep.
So it's on varied frequencies, needs 3s to hit, hits 4 times. It's only strength 5, I believe.
The strength 5, so 5s to wound, yeah.
No wounds.
No wounds.
And then I've got the Soul Blasters to do.
Yeah.
So 3s to hit. I can re-roll those.
Lucius is right by him.
Lucius is right next to them. That's better. I'm going to need 5s to wound. Okay, so that one there is -1 because of the extra AP.
Yep.
Those 2 are just your standard armour save.
Okay, so all 3 ups.
Yep.
Okay.
Great. Okay, that's good. Good shooting. There we are. 2 melters are going to go into this dreadnought.
Okay.
And the plasma.
Okay.
And you know what? The flamers might as well.
So everything into him.
Everything
into him.
So I'll do the flamers first. So 2d6 plus 2. So I get 12 shots off.
Yep.
Just give me a second. 5s to wound.
Yep.
Right.
4.
5 altogether.
So he takes 1, or does he? Because he has a 6 up feeling, I think. Yes, he does.
Okay.
So he's got 5 remaining.
Right. And then the melter gun. The 2 melter guns need 3s to hit. Both hit. They're going to need 3s to wound. Both wound.
Okay. So it makes 1 saves, makes 1 fails 1.
Okay, and then half range. So d6 plus 2. It's a 7.
7. So 7. He takes 6 more wounds. Does he explode? Let's hope so.
Oh,
No.
not this time.
So everything from the Terminators into the
Yeah.
assault squad.
So 2 frames first, let the galaxy burn. So again, I get 12 shots.
Very nice.
Needing 4s to wound. Okay, I can reroll those 2 because of the exalted champion. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Lose 1.5. Okay.
I'm going to need 3s. A 1 hit, 2 to wound. Doesn't wound, but I can reroll because of the exalted champion.
Yeah.
Yep. So -3.
Nope.
And D6 plus 2.
Right, he's dead.
3.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, there's another one gone. Let's go for you.
And I'm going to risk rapid firing at full heat with the plasma. So I'm going to need 3s, so both of them hit.
Okay.
I'm going to need the strength 8 on it, so I'm going to need 2s.
Yep.
Yep, that's additional AP, so that's -4. So that one goes straight through.
Straight through.
And that's 2 damage.
That kills one.
And that one, you got to save at -2.
Yes.
Okay.
So one is left
One's
alive.
Yeah.
Brutal stuff. So let's... we must pick the flamer now. So... So we've basically got what? This squad of legionaries left now then?
They're going to fire their pistols
Yep.
into this unit.
Okay.
Yep. And the exalted champion with his melter gun is going to try and finish him off.
Why not?
So he needs a 2 to hit. Hits. A 2 to wound. Wounds.
He's well dead.
Yeah. There we are.
Okay.
It's D6.
So at the end of the shooting phase, the assault marines, devastated by the withering amount of fire that came in from the Terminators. The Vanguard vets managed to weather the storm of the bolters and the cultists, but it's looking pretty thin for the Space Marines, especially when we look at the deep strike of a squad of Terminators right next to the strategic generator and subterranean entrance. So it's looking pretty desperate for the Space Marines already in turn 2. But let's see what happens. The dice command. So let's see what happens. So what are you charging then?
So the Terminators are going to try and attempt to charge this Contemptor.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hard one to fail.
Yes.
To be honest.
This one's going to be tricky because I'm going to need a 9-inch charge, but I'm going to try and go for them before they go for me. So that's key. And then the Legionnaires with their chainsaws and bolt pistols are going to go unfortunately, into these Vanguard vets.
Okay.
And the Terminators will try and sweep round and do it that way as well. So we'll try and pincer them.
Yep.
The 2 Goth horns. Okay.
Okay.
And because this soul burner managed to deal some mortal wounds, this is going to attempt to charge into here because it does have a close combat weapon.
Cool.
Into those 2.
Okay.
And to try and just hold those characters in play. I'm not thinking they're going to damage them too much, but if I can keep them in play, it means I can...
No problem. Okay.
The heroes can't save today.
Yeah, okay. So what we'll do, we'll measure up, do some charges off camera. What I will do is I'll probably spend a CP. I'll probably spend a CP on the Centurions because there's the most amount of DACA coming out of them. I don't think there's much point spending it on this Contemptor Dread, and they don't have any weapons anyway. So I think that's where I'll spend my CP. So we'll roll everything off camera, and we'll probably come back for Overwatch here. Okay, so partway through the charge phase, as you can see, those Vanguard vets are looking in particularly not a great place, and we'll come back to those shortly. The Terminators made it in against the Contemptor Dread, as did the Devastator against the Captain and the Lieutenant. So there's only one more charge left to make, which is these Terminators into the Assault Centurion. So that's where we'll do the Overwatch. So start with the Hurricane Bolters hitting on 6s. That's excellent. That is excellent. So on to the melters.
Warp energies.
I think it's because I've saved all the 6s for the melters. That's definitely what it was. Ooh, 1. Okay. 2s to wound. Wounds onto your fibre pin bun.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So do they make the charge?
Let's see. No, they don't.
Ooh,
No.
Okay. I think we've scraped that one,
Yeah.
I think.
We have.
Okay, so on to the fight phase.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so we're starting with the Terminators into the Contemptor Dreadnought. So there's a whole plethora of accursed weapons trying to stain the soul of this poor, long-lived Contemptor. Thankfully, he does have his 1 saving grace is he does have a 5 up in bud.
So I'm going to need freeze to hit. Out of range of Lucius. Okay. It's strength 5, toughness 6.
Toughness 7 on the
7.
Contemptors.
So I'm going to need 4s on the dice because of the veterans.
Yeah.
Right. So we can discard those. Yeah. So those 3 there, the 3 6s because it's an accursed weapon are -4,
Okay, so 5 up in buns.
and then the rest are -2.
So 4 ups.
Yeah, so you've got 5 4-ups and 5 3-ups. No, 5 2-ups. Come on, Gary. And 3 3-ups.
Okay. So -2.
-3. They're -3.
-3, so 5 ups.
5 ups, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Might have to do some editing there.
That's not so good. So they all fail.
Okay, so that's just 3 damage.
So okay, does he explode? That's him done. Yeah.
Is it really?
Oh no. So that's becomes 6. So he's got 3 remaining.
3 remaining, yeah. And then these would be -2, but they're -2.
So 4 ups.
4 ups.
Which he takes 2 more.
Okay, so he's taken 5 altogether.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what damage were they?
1 each.
Okay, so he's got 1 remaining.
Yep.
Oof. Okay, so on to. So what have you got coming in here? Who's going to fight first?
So the Legionnaires with their swords are going to fight first, and I'm going to use a stratagem called basically where they are in cruel bladesmen. So I'm adding 1 to my AP with my chained swords.
Okay, so there's a gazillion attacks coming into the Vanguard vets here from the
Right.
Legionnaires. Okay, so after the combat was resolved over here, we lost 3 of the Vanguard, which is a lot. It's actually less than I expected, to be fair. But I've paid 2 CP to interrupt and try and have the captain actually do something. So he's going to put all of his attacks into the decimator that he started to wound. It's got back up to 10 wounds. So let's see what we can do. So he's still under Chapter Master command. So hit on 3s, re-rolling. And that's a good job. We've got 1 exploding 6 so far. Okay, so everything hits because that 1 will become the exploding 6. So strength 9, toughness 7, so 3s to wound. So it's 5 wounds -2.
Okay. So it's going to be my invulnerable.
Yeah.
Save 2 of them.
So that's 9 damage
9
goes
damage.
through. Oh, it's not enough.
I'm on 1.
It's not enough. Okay.
Oh,
That's not. It's okay. I mean,
okay.
it's forcing you to spend. You've got 2 devastators on 1 wound. It's forcing you to spend CP now, which is fine. So just from a tactical point of view, anything you can do that forces your opposition to spend CP on stuff they wouldn't ordinarily want to do, it's not a bad thing all round. But it would have been nice to get rid of it. It's just 1 more model off the board. So with that, onto either one of these devastators then.
Yeah, okay. So I will do this one next.
Okay.
The one that's not been wounded. Freeze to hit you.
Oh, that'll do.
That'll do. One.
That's
Great.
nice. Yeah, keep it up.
Double my strength, so strength 14.
So twos.
Twos. Yeah.
Okay. So.
And it's minus 2. That's taken away armor of contempt.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's on his 4 up either way because you've got the Angel Artifice armour.
He
So he
saves.
gets a save, so he saves nicely. Okay, so now the wounded one.
Yeah. Okay. So the wounded one's
So actually, I'd go
next.
with my lieutenant.
Yep.
So the lieutenant's going to go into that one remaining wound.
Yeah.
There and just try and get rid of that, and hopefully it blows up and kills the lieutenant. Who knows? Okay, so we'll work that out. He's not charged or been charged, or has he been charged with the Devastation? Did you charge them both?
I charged them both. Yeah.
Okay.
But I tried to put everything into your captain.
Okay, so shock assault will kick in. Right, okay, so I'll just get some dice together. Okay, so everything into, you get the Teeth of Terror again and shock assault. So we're going to put everything into that decimator because it's only a chainsword. I know it's the Teeth of Terror, but still. Okay, so all bar 1. Strength 5.
Took me 7.
So 5's to wound. Whoa. Yeah, I think he's blunted his teeth on that one. Excellent. So back over to the Devastator then. He's got 1 wound on the lieutenant and 3 on the captain.
So need freeze.
Which way are you splitting it?
I'm going to go all for the captain.
All for the captain, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Again, this time though it's only his strength because he's got nothing else to hit him with. There's no power claw or anything.
Okay.
So it's strength 7. So he needs freeze.
4's because he's tough for 7.
All right, there we are. So just 1 wound.
Just 1 wound. Okay.
It's just straight save.
Oh, that's straight 2 up save then?
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Nothing there.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tanked it. That's gone better than I thought.
Yeah. And then I've got these to fight with still here.
Yeah, so you've just fought there, so I'd fight first here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So let me just get some dice together there. Okay, so we'll start with the Thunder Hammer on that sergeant. He's the only one left, so we'll try and whittle away as many as we can. But there's no shock assault this time. So hitting on 4s because of it being a Thunder Hammer. And we got 1 exploding 6, which hits. So 2 hits go through. 2's to wound. So 2 wounds. -2 comes -1, so 4 ups.
1 goes. So I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so kills that 1 on
Yeah.
1 wound. Excellent. So that's at least that's 1 more that's not there
Yeah. Okay.
for the sergeant, for the squad. You say?
Oh, it's just the sergeant
So it's
left?
just a sergeant and then a squad.
Well, okay. So my sergeant will chart your sergeant on. So I'll do
Okay.
that first.
Yeah.
So freeze to hit. I'm in range of Lucius. No, I'm not. Strength 4, toughness 4, need 4s. 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay. He's
Save.
fine.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then the standard guy. Reroll. No. 4's to wound. Wounds twice.
Okay.
Just your standard armour save.
It's fine.
Yeah, there we are.
Okay. So that concludes the.
I'm just wondering if I play the same stratagem again here at the end of combat
Okay.
to try and take them out.
Try and take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that on
That makes sense.
on the Terminators.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So we fought back off camera with the Contempt of Dread. It should have been one of those moments we captured because 5 wounds went through, hopefully trying to whittle some away on a 4 up save. And just no. Can you stop now, please? Because I want to remove some of your models. So that is the end of turn 2 for the Emperor's Children. And yeah, it's looking particularly sad for the Space Marines right now, for the Ghosts. They're trying their best, but the Vanguard vets have been mopped up. That stratagem cleared them away once they fought again. So let's see what can be pulled out the bag. There's a few a few things. With turn 2, let's see what can happen with the Space Marines. So see you at the start of the Space Marines turn 2. Okay, so the end of the movement phase for the Ghosts. In the command phase, we put the Chapter Master, gave himself re-rolls again, because why not? And we've done a sort of a bit of work here. The Chief Apothecary came over and revived 2 from that squad. This other squad of Marines moved back and fell back, so as did the Rhino, to sort of try and blockade this area as best they can. The Centurions moved over because they've got a threat on 2 fronts, really. If we don't do that, they've got to deal with those Terminators in the next turn, as well as these Terminators. So I made the decision to try and do my best to movement block them and hold them up whilst I deal with this lot. The right hand side flank has pretty much collapsed. We think this is gonna fall very soon. But the gunship spent 2 CP on Machine Spirit, so it's on its full profile, but brought it back across this way. And for now, I've left the Terminators and the Chaplain in there to see if they and try and make an impact if I can on turn 3. So all that being said, there's not that much shooting to do because everything is in combat. So the only things to shoot are going to be the Storm Raven and are going to be these Assault Centurions. Because it is a vehicle, the Contemptor can also fire into combat as well. So we'll do a little bit off camera and come back for some of the main ones. Okay, so the assault cannons and hurricane bolters went into the squad of Legionnaires and managed to pick off a couple. Now all the missiles are going to go into the Terminators. So we'll start with the Storm Strike, which hits, 2's to wound, which wounds. It's -3 becomes -2.
No.
Okay, and that's 3 wounds. That kills one.
Kills a Terminator.
Which is good news. And then the Typhoon crack missiles, 1 hit, 1 miss. Yep. Strength 8, I believe that one is, yeah. So 2's again. And
it's -2, isn't it?
-2, so it comes so 3 ups.
3 up. Yeah.
It's fine. Okay. So with that, we'll move on to the in combat. The Contempt. If I don't do it first, I always forget. So the Contempt of Dread killed a Terminator with its melter. So we'll move on to this squad of Assault Marines into this squad of Terminators. So we'll start with the Hurricane Bolters, and then we'll come back for the Melters.
Molten Slag.
Okay, so now on to, they weathered the storm with the Hurricane Bolters. So now it's on to the Melters. So again, hitting on 3's. And I will re-roll that 2. I'll spend a CP. So they all hit. 2's to wound. I think I spent CP at the wrong time. There's no lieutenant around to re-roll any 1s, so 2 wounds on your invuln.
Both saved.
Phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Right. So that is as little shooting as... Oh, and the other thing, the Chief Apothecary, I think I mentioned, has brought these back, so nothing to do there. So the only thing really now is to go onto charges. So the only thing that can charge, there's only 1 charge in this one, which will be these Assault Centurions. So I don't know whether you want to overwatch.
No, because there's only a plasma. I'm not gonna. I've got 1 plasma weapon.
Okay, all right. So I'll roll to get them in. Roll for some distance. +1 to charge for this chapter. At a 10, I think they're pretty much in.
They're in.
So we'll do that, and then we'll go back to the rest of the combat. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start off with the Assault Centurions. there's a lot of attacks coming in. There's 5 attacks for the sergeant and 4 attacks each for shock assault for the main centurions. So hitting on 3s and 6s exploding. Okay. So strength 10, so 2s to wound. Okay. Right, these dice. And I don't have much choice but to spend a CP. There we go. So 6 wounds, all on, it's -4, becomes -3, so 5 ups.
6 5-ups. I saved 2 of them.
So they are 3 damage. Yep, they are. Siege drills, 3 damage each.
3 damage. Do I do a reroll? Yeah, I'll try. No. Okay.
Okay, so that kills 4.
Kills 4. Yep.
That will do nicely.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I can weather that a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, but so now moving on to Emperor's Children because they fight first. So we're going to go for the Terminators into the Contemptor Dread. He's got 1 wound to get through. I think he's going to stand firm.
I think he might. He's venerable, he's ancient, he understands the ways of chaos.
I think he wants to just go to sleep. I think he's done. I think he's had his day. I think he's like, that's it. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So with their weapons, anointed weapons, and he frees to hit. Squeaky bum time this could be. Right. They are strength 5, you are toughness 6, so only 5.
7, yeah, it's 5s.
5s.
Ooh.
Only one. So it's -4 that.
So 5 up in them.
Yeah.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Ah.
Are you ready? I'm going to spend a CP. Oh! Does he explode? I saw it for a second.
I saw it.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Okay, and so the Contemptor Dread finally falls. Okay, so moving on to the Chapter Master with his 4 attacks. I'm going to have to risk it. We've got 1 wound left, or? Yeah, 1 wound left on this guy. He's on 4 wounds, yeah?
He's on 12. Yeah.
I'd need every single one to go through. Yeah. Yeah. And then I could leave the lieutenant to... Okay, all right. We'll put everything into this one, see if we can whittle this one down a little bit. Because then I've then got 3 Devastators that are limping along. Okay, so 3s to hit, re-roll him. Okay. And 1 6. So we got 5 attacks. 3s to wound.
Yep. One save of 5
I think
up there.
it's like... Oh, yeah.
Let's see. No, it goes
So
through.
it takes 3 wounds.
Damage.
Okay. That. Okay. So you next then. So who do you think you're looking to do?
I'm going to do these
Got
next.
the Warp Talons.
Yeah, we'll do those
Okay,
next.
so they're in contact with this tactical marine squad.
Who have been
Okay, I'll let
healed.
you get some dice. Oh, you got some dice already.
Yeah, been healed, haven't they? So 3s to hit. Can reroll the 1s because Lucius is nearby. He's biding his time for a reason.
Yes. Oh, he's got people to do his work for him.
4s to wound. 2 wounds. Oh, 3 wounds, sorry.
Okay,
No AP.
they're all fine.
There we are.
Okay, so now the lieutenant
Yeah.
with his Teeth of Terror. So
Come on.
not charged this time, so he gets 6 attacks. So he's going to put... He's going to put everything into... I'm going to try and overkill this Devastator. I need to get rid of something. So hitting on 2s. And 2 explode. 5s to wound. 1 wound.
Right. Saves.
Just ongoing back and forth
So
over
my
here.
decimator
So-
then will go into your warlord.
Into the warlord, okay.
Right, 5 attacks, 3s to hit. That's all of them. 2s to wound.
Yeah.
4 of them. And they are minus 2 for you.
-2 because -1, so 3 ups.
-3.
Oh,
-2.
okay, so 4 ups.
But
What's the damage?
3 damage each.
Ooh, that kills him. Does he explode? Excellent, that's the warlord falls. Okay.
No one ever dies in Forge.
No one ever really dies. He uses his jump pack at the last minute to fly up into the air. Okay, so only last bit of combat to resolve is those and these Terminators here. So I'll fight with these tactical marines. So they all hit with exploding 6s. 2 wounds, no minus.
Lose a wound.
Lose a wound, and then the Thunder Hammer.
There we go.
Oh, that'll do nicely. 2s to wound. He's mad. Okay.
5 there, weren't there?
Yeah.
I don't blame him, to be fair. They're all gone.
They're all gone.
They're gone.
Oh, so they've cleared that squad.
That's
Finally, it's taken a couple of turns, but they've managed to get rid of that squad. So we'll consolidate forward a little bit, get them towards the barricade to face down Lucius and his noise marines. There's the Terminators into the assault marines. Oh, I'm happy with that. That'll do.
And then I'm going to need... They're toughness 5, yours?
Toughness 5, yeah.
The 4s. 1 wound.
1 wound. Any minus?
No minus.
So 2 ups. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so at the end of turn 2, the Space Marines still hold the line. They've managed to push out somewhat, hold up these Terminators, but the Warlord has fallen. We've yet to see Chaplain and his retinue of Terminators hit the battle grid. But let's see what happens in Emperor's Children, turn 3. Okay, so end of the movement phase for turn 3 for the Emperor's Children, and already we can see these uplink towers are starting to fall. Ordinarily, in most 40k games, we'd have done an action here that they have to complete to take this tower down, but yeah, this is narrative. We're just gonna, we've got a bit of imagination here. It doesn't take all 10 of them to tear that down, put it that way. And over here, the Psyker, the Endless Grin, he's also taken that uplink tower. Past that, the Cultists and the Terminators are starting to move forward, and this is the beginning of the end, we think, for the Space Marines as we move on to Emperor's Children turn 3. So where do you want to start?
So shooting these.
You want some psychic?
Psychic, yeah. Slice at those Centaurians, please.
You don't have to, you know.
Oh, it's a super smite, but it's hurt me as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
So are you going to keep that, or are you going to re-roll it?
I'm going to keep it.
You're going to keep it. You got 3 wounds left.
I'm going to keep it.
You're going to keep it. All right. What's your damage? For 1.
Oh, it's dangerous.
Go on. What are you doing then?
5.
Oh, that kills a Centurion. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's pick him away. There we go. Cool.
I will not do any more psychic.
That was so nothing else to do, no?
No. He could. I suppose he could give them Precious, but I'm not risking it.
Not risking it. Okay, fair enough then.
So then I've got the Blastmaster shooting. So this unit here is going to fire into those
The TAC Marines here.
TAC Marines, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I'm just going to check just going to come off camera and check the shooting.
Okay.
And then I'm not in reroll range for the one. Then it is strength 5. No, sorry, strength 5. Yeah, strength 5. Freeze. So 2 wounds at -3, but it's -2 for you.
And I'm next to a barricade,
Yeah.
so 4 ups.
No, and it's in half range, so they do 2 damage each.
Okay, so it pops 2. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll keep the sergeant alive.
And then I'll have a go at the sergeant with the sonic blasters.
Okay.
Okay. So they freeze to hit.
Okay.
Then it's strength 4, toughness 4, and he falls. Okay, so there you are. That one's an extra AP, but it doesn't matter if it's armor contempt.
Okay.
So just normal 5 straight saves.
Okay. So he's installed some noise cancelling headphones.
He has.
So
I
think. No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. So that's 2 damage because it's half
So
range.
he's well dead. Brilliant.
Dead. Okay.
So
We'll check that it's in half range, which it is, so it'll be an extra damage.
okay.
I can't do any. I've only got 1 CP left, so it's just 3 hits. We need freeze. 2 hits. Strength 8, toughness 7, need freeze. 2 wounds. So that one's -4.
Okay. Okay. So the first one. Oh no, that's gone through. What's the damage on that?
And that's 4 damage.
And then the other one.
Okay, and
so
that's 4 damage as well.
that's 4 damage as well. So does it blow up?
Does it blow up?
No. Okay, so let's have a look at the guys inside. There's the Terminator squad and the chaplain. Okay, so there's 6 inside. So let's actually make sure I don't roll any 1s. I'll roll 1-1. Okay, I'll weather that. So during the shooting phase, everything came into the Terminators and whittled everything down to just 1 Terminator remaining. The lieutenant succumbed to mortal wounds from the Soul Blaster cannons, and that's pretty much it. We moved on quickly to the charge phase because we're in the twilight of this game now. Lucius charged into the Apothecary, and the Terminators charged into the Rhino to try and take that out, and then they'll be freed up to start work on this objective here. So that's where we stand. So where do you want to start?
I think I'm going to start with the Rhino.
Okay.
Because his whip stops you from hitting first.
Yeah. So I've only got 4 CP left. I don't intend to interrupt anywhere.
So I need freeze. Oh, hey. I'll get that in a minute.
Yeah.
Just 1 wound.
Just 1 wound. Okay. What was the minus?
-2. So it just
Minus
takes
1. So it takes 1 damage. What about your Power Fist?
Oh yes, I've got that as well. Yeah. Hits twice.
Okay.
Needs freeze. 2 wounds.
They both go through.
And that's their 3 damage each, aren't they?
Yeah. So down
takes
to
out
1 wound. So now, should we go on to Lucius?
Can do. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's another charging unit for you, isn't there?
Yeah. I just need to get him
Okay.
on screen. Onto the damage rolls.
Okay.
So he needs 2s.
On 2s.
2s to hit. Yep.
Yeah.
So he hits you. Against your toughness 4, so needs freeze. Okay, so there are 4 wounds. And it would be normally -3, but it's -2.
Okay. 3 fail.
So they all cause, because of the +1 on each, that's 9 damage.
Okay. 9 6s coming up.
9 6. You can do it.
You believe in me. Well, maybe putting a Astropathic on 1, I think. That's about it. Okay, so he falls. This one here. They accelerated in, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going with his ones next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Freeze to hit. Yep. Force to wound. Freeze to wound, sorry. Freeze to wound. Wow. Whoa.
Okay.
So,
that looks pretty disgusting.
right, it is. Those 6 are -4. But they
Okay.
would be -3 for you.
Yeah.
And these ones are -2.
Okay. So that's the squad.
That's the squad, yeah.
Because they're like 2 damage each?
1 damage each.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, that's 3.
3.
Okay, that's 3 gone.
Yeah.
And then the last 3.
If they're all tactical marines, then they would have been.
Yeah, I know. Well, they are dead anyway because they're all 3 2s. So that's literally. So that, because they 1 damage each as well.
Yes.
So I lost 3. I've got 1 left with 1 wound.
left.
1 left with 1 wound. That is astonishing. So,
yeah.
okay, so Terminators into the Assault Centurions.
Okay. With their cursed weaponry. I call it anointed, but it's the same thing. Just a different perspective. Okay, so they need 4s. 1 wound.
Okay. What's the damage? Oh, it's one AP?
AP -3, -2 for you.
Okay, so 4s. Okay, what's
Just
the
1
damage? Okay, that's fine, I can live with that. Right, so it's looking pretty brutal across here. So we're ready for the fight back. There's not much to fight back with, but whatever we have, we're going to give it some. So we'll start with the Assault Centurions. Okay, so the Assault Centurions, 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. And 6s explode, which is a good job because otherwise that was pretty rubbish. 2s to wound. I may as well spend a CP. So 3 wounds,
3 5-ups.
3 5-ups.
Did
Okay,
1.
so that's 2 dead.
2 dead, yeah.
So that clears the squad, which is pretty significant because it frees those Assault Centurions up now for my turn, which is badly, badly needed. Okay, we'll have the 1 fight back with that Sergeant. So at the end of Emperor's Children turn 3, they're right up into the frontier of Bumblebee Point. Lucius's plan is coming together. So let's see what the Space Marines can do, if anything, in their turn 3. Okay, so that was a really short but sweet movement phase. At the end of the last turn, we actually spent 2 CP to keep him engaged in combat with these Terminators. So these 2 Terminators, the Chaplain, just need to roll for it. I have moved them, but I'm going to roll for his litanies now. So he's a Master of Sanctity. So the Litany of Hate goes off, and the Mantra of Rage also goes off. So he's fully angry. That's pretty much it. So this will be the last throw of the dice, and see how we get on. So Gary and I just discussed off camera the way we're reading things in terms of eligible targets. These guys are in combat, these guys are in combat, so it removes them from being eligible, and Lucius being the closest one. So we had a little chat off camera, we're both happy that everything will go into Lucius, because if I'm going to take anything from this day, it's to send him to the apothecary with some sort of shooty pains.
Go and visit Fabius.
That's it. Go and visit Fabulous Bill. So we will start off with. There's nothing else to do now in terms of just the shooting. It'll be that 1 squad that's shooting because everything else that's eligible. To be fair, we've got this one down to 1 wound, haven't we? So
yes,
he can take a pot shot. So we'll start with the Chaplain, pot shot into the Devastator. Hits. And there's 1 wound.
is it Melter?
No, it's a combi bolt. It's a bolter.
I saved that.
Oh, for God's right. And so we'll move on to the Centurions. So everything from the Centurions into Lucius. So hitting on 3s. I'll roll anyway. That is 4 wounds.
4 3-ups. Loses 3 wounds.
Loses 2 within a barricade.
Yeah.
Within a barricade.
Fantastic.
So he's got 2. So now 6 melters, finish him off, take that endless grin off his face. All but 1 hit. 2 to wound. All 5 wound.
5 4-ups.
That's his invuln, is it?
Yep. Ooh, command reroll.
Go for it.
Yeah, save them.
Sweet, very good. Okay, so that all being said, it's now on to charges. I have a little think. I think I know what I'm going to do. It's basically Chaplain and the last remaining Terminator into this squad, and I think I may as well these 2 assault Centurions into that squad of Terminators. Try and remove as much of this retinue of armour as I can. So I'll measure up and do some rolling. Okay, so we managed to get everything in. He's rolled an 11, a 6, and to get him in. I meant to re-roll him to get him in as well, but we got in, so that's all good. So we'll start with the assault Centurions.
Right.
Hitting on 3s, 6 is exploding. Okay, so that's not very good, is it? That's not a very good start at all. I'll put 1 back in there. 2s to wound. Okay, so 3 wounds onto your 5-up invuln.
We'll go through.
Okay, so that kills 3. So it leaves 1 remaining. Oh. Oh. Okay. So now it'll be over to you with your Terminators.
Yep, so I'm going to put... I'll put 2 into the Chaplain, 1 into him, and 1 into the Sergeant.
Okay.
So I'll do the Sergeant first.
Okay.
Hits 3 times. Need 3s to wound. Wounds 3 times. -2 for you.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead with 2 wounds gone. Okay. Then the Terminator with the Storm. Yep. Hit 3 times. I wound twice.
Okay. What's the thing?
-2.
So,
You'll be -3, -2.
so. Yep, it's fine.
So, okay, and then on the Chaplain. So we hit 6 times. We need 3s. So that one is -3. And
Yeah.
those 2 are -2. So it's going to be his Crozius, isn't it?
4 of him, but
His
anyway.
Rosarius.
Yeah. Okay.
And 1 goes through 1 wound.
1 wound. Okay. Right, so I'll fight back with the Chaplain then.
Yep.
Okay, so 4 attacks on the charge with the Chaplain. So hitting on 2s, 6 is exploding. Okay. And I think I'll re-roll that one into a 1. Of course I do. So now strength-wise, with his Benediction of Fury, giving him +2, and the Mantra Strength +1, so he's Strength 7. So wounding on 3s, and his 6s do mortal wounds. So no 6s, but 2 wounds go through.
So, what's the AP?
They are -2 becomes -1.
So 3s. No.
And kills 1.
Kills 1.
Okay. So now the Rhino fights back,
Yep.
and it hits.
Wow.
Doesn't wound.
Oh.
Right.
He's got to hit the Rhino, hasn't he, as well? Someone's will do
Yep.
here. Hit twice. Doesn't wound.
Oh my goodness. Right, so at the end of turn 3 for the Space Marines, we've lost the Sergeant, but we are fully engaged in combat across the board. But that does mean we'll have... Now this unit needs to stay here, I think.
Yeah.
You happy with that? To control that, as does the Psyker, but that does still free up Lucius and the Noise Marines to move forward, given that everyone else is in combat at the moment. So let's see what the Emperor's Children do. Turn 4. Okay, so at the end of the movement phase, the decimators are starting to make their way up the board. We've spent a CP, only one, is it, on
Only
CP
one
on Demon
CP.
Forge,
Yeah.
getting him up to full health. But more importantly, Lucius has made it to the generator. So let's see what the rest of his troops around him. Can his warband protect him? Can they take out these Centurions who are now no longer in combat due to how the Terminators were removed? So can the rest of his warband get rid of the threat around him in order for him to dive deep into the structure below? So, where are we starting?
I'm going to start with this here, with its 2 Soul Blasters.
Okay.
They're going to go into that and try and give some mortal wounds.
Okay.
So I get 3 with that, so 5 altogether with the first one. I need 3s to hit. 4 of them, 2s to give a mortal wound. So 2 mortal wounds.
Oh, okay. So that's that sergeant, the other Centurion down to 1 wound.
Yeah. Then I've got again, so 2. I get 3 this time. Need 3s to hit. All of them, but need 2s. So 3 more mortal wounds.
Oh, so that leaves the sergeant left with 2 wounds. 3 mortal wounds, you say?
Yeah, 3 mortal wounds. Yeah.
Okay. So leaves him with 2.
Okay. And then this one will do the same. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to need 2d3 assault. So 3 to do. So 4's to hit. So 2 hits. Its profile's changed, and 2 ups. So just 1 more mortal wound on him.
It's down to 1 remaining.
1 remaining wound. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Then I'll have to go on to these next.
Okay, to the Noise Marines.
Noise Marines. They have moved.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use it on a varied frequency. So we've done 3 hits. So strength 5, so we only 3s. 4, sorry, to wound. So 2 wounds at -1, so just 2 normal saves.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay, and I've got Soul Blasters to do. 2, 3. So they hit. Now I need 3s, 4s, sorry, 5s even, because they're toughness 5, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So they are -1, but it's, to be honest with you, you've cancelled that out with Arm of Contempt.
Okay.
Yep. So he's fine at the moment with 1 wound.
He's fine at the moment with 1 wound.
So he's hitting on 5s.
Excellent.
So he gets 5 hits.
Okay, that's not very excellent. That's not
Okay.
what we agreed.
3s to wound. 3 wounds.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Sorry.
2 wounds.
2 wounds.
2 wounds. 1 up save. Is that what you said?
No, that's right. It's -1 for you.
After Arm of Contempt,
After
yeah?
Arm of Contempt, yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm going to have to CP it. Come on. Oh.
And he takes 2 damage.
So that's him dead. So he falls. So the last bastion on this end falls. On to charges. But there isn't any. Well, there is. Well, you've got... Is anything to charge into those 2 Terminators?
I'm not going to. They're going to watch. Enjoy the pleasure of it.
So it'd be you fighting first then.
Yeah.
So if we move on to the fight phase,
Yeah.
there are no charges, so Terminators into either the chaplain or the...
Yeah.
So how are you going to split it?
2 attacks onto the chaplain,
Okay.
and then 1 on the Terminator, and 1 on the
Okay.
Terminated Stormhammer. From the hammer, sorry. It is a storm though, isn't it? I suppose. Right. So I'm going to need 4s to wound.
Oh,
Only 2 wounds.
2 wounds. What's the AP?
-1 for that one.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
And then
The Terminator hits. Wounds twice, that's -1, that one. But be 3 up anyway. Yeah,
Okay.
save both of them.
So both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Right, so they get to fight back. So he's still under the influence of his own stuff. But there's no charge this time, so it's only 3 attacks. With the chaplain into the Terminators. But that extra hit still works. Oh no, it doesn't. No, so it's only 2 hits. Because it's only the first round of combat. 2 wounds.
Okay.
2 4-ups. This kills another one.
Kills another one, yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to spend a CP on the Fury of the First.
Yeah.
With that Terminator Sergeant. So he's back to hitting on 3s. All 3 hits. Wounding on 2s. All 3 wound. Clears the squad.
Clears the squad, yeah.
Clears the squad. Are these 2 Terminators going to be the heroes? Are they going to... Oh, that's pretty epic. Oh, that's amazing. So, as they clear the squad in front of them, they accelerate forward. Lucius is in their sights. As we move on to Space Marines, turn 4. So, at the start of at the end of the movement phase, we'll just do the command phase now. I know it's out of sequence, but there we go. So, again, the 2 litanies, fails the litany of hate, and fails the mantra of strength. Okay. So, but with that being said, that's literally it. They are literally down to these last 2 models. Will they hold this line for one more turn? So we're going to fire the combi bolter from the chaplain at Lucius, because why not? And they all hit. Crack shot. But none of them wound. I think Lucius ducked behind some pipe work or something. Okay, so now we'll just declare the charges. Okay. Yeah. And yeah. So everything's in to Lucius. Okay. So Lucius has used his whip to ensnare the chaplain to prevent him from fighting first. So we'll move straight on to the sergeant. And again, I'm going to spend another CP on Fury of the First. So he gets 4 attacks on the charge, 6 is exploding, hitting on 3s. Okay, so 2s to wound. 3 wounds go through on the in-bun. 3 damage each for anything that's failed. Can he be brought down?
Takes 1.
So takes 3 wounds.
Yeah. So he's on 1 wound.
He's on 1 wound remaining. Okay.
Okay.
So all we've got to do is have this chaplain tank these.
So he needs 2s to hit. Oh, he's wounded.
Oh.
He's wounded. He's strength 4, toughness 4. You toughness 4?
Toughness 4.
So need 4s. Wound you once at
Once.
-2.
Becomes
-3 normally.
-3. Okay, so 4s. And it's 5.
Saves. And then the 2 on the sergeant. Hits twice. Doesn't wound.
So now the chaplain. 5 attacks.
Yeah.
Hitting on 2s. Are you nervous?
I am, yeah.
You're a bit nervous?
Yeah.
So I won't
Don't gloat over
I
it,
won't,
you'll turn into it.
I won't draw this out then. Not any longer than I have to. Okay, here we go. 2s to wound. 2s to hit, sorry. Okay, so 1 explodes.
Tell your chaplain not to take any satisfaction.
No, he won't. It's very grim resolve.
Yeah.
He used to be a Dark Angel.
Oh, it's all right.
Okay, so 2s to wound. No, what? No, 3s to wound.
Yeah.
All 4 wounds.
So 4 invulnerables.
Yes.
No, he's dead.
So Lucius falls.
There we are.
And the chaplain takes no pride. Well, not at the minute anyway. And he turns round. Faces down the rest of the Emperor's Children's Warband. and screams his defiance, saying, "Take me on." And with that, we move on to the Emperor's Children. Turn 5.
Jeez.
So, at the end of the Emperor's Children movement phase, another CP's been spent on Demon Forge, getting them up to full profile. But as you can see, they're advancing down that line. The Chaplain and the Terminator, they're in that happy place. They're facing down these devastators. That Emperor's Child, he's in his happy place killing a rhino. And everyone else, the party's about to start. They've dialed it up to 11. I don't think there's much left for these two. But anyway, let's get on to the shooting phase. So what are you starting with?
I'll do the soul burner cannon on this.
Okay.
And that's going to be on the Terminator Sergeant.
Okay.
So soul burner. Okay.
For 5.
For 5. Force to hit.
Oh.
Nothing. Okay.
He certainly dodged one there.
Yeah, and then I've got the soul burner. Not the soul burner. I'll tell you in a moment.
Oh, the Hellflamer.
Hellflamer.
Yeah.
Which is heavy D6, I believe.
Yes.
Hopefully that's heavy D6. So 5. Gonna need force to hit.
No, force to wound.
Force to wound. So 2 wounds.
It's fine.
Fine. Yep. Then I'm gonna split fire with the back one.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna put all the butcher cannon into that Terminator.
Okay.
So heavy butcher, heavy. Okay. Need 5s to hit. That would have been a good hit. 3s to wound, 2 wounds, -1 for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold him firm.
And then, how many wounds has your sergeant got?
2 left.
2 left. And your captain, your chaplain's got
4 wounds.
4 wounds, 6.
Whatever he has. Chaplain has 5 wounds.
Right, I will try to split fire then.
Okay.
So these are the chaplain.
Yeah.
So I get 4 wounds on him. Okay. 3s to hit. Only 2 of them.
Only 2 of them.
2s. Yep.
So 2 mortal wounds. So he's got 3 left.
Yep. Okay, and then on the Terminator, I get 4 3s to hit. 2 of them. 2s. 2 mortal wounds on him.
So he falls.
He falls.
He's gone.
He's gone.
So we've got the chaplain left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have to try the noise marines at
That's
him.
him. Okay.
So Soul, the Master Blaster, 3000. 3s to these 3s to hit. So 2 hits.
Okay.
It's strength 8, so needs 2s, I believe.
Yeah.
So 1 wound. I will use my command reroll, the other one I've got. So 2 6s, so that makes that -4.
So 2 4-pin guns. Come on, you got this.
He has.
He does have it.
He has.
Oh my goodness.
Shame, because that's an extra damage as well.
Oh.
Ah, dear. Right.
Okay.
So let's see then if the Sonic Blasters can do anything. Right. Just going to talk about Lucius then, but he's dead.
He's well dead.
He's well dead. Need 5s. Oh no, 4s, because stuff is 4, isn't it? 4s. Right. So only 2 wounds. So 2 basic saves.
So 2 2-ups.
Yeah. Saves them. Okay. Ooh.
Is that it?
That is it.
That's it.
That's it. So it's charging him.
So charging. So the chaplain has stood firm. Okay.
Fancy that. How many wounds you got left? 1.
2 left.
2.
He took 2 more wounds,
Yeah.
didn't he? So he got 3 left.
3 left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to charge. I'm gonna put 1 into him
Just 1 into
to
him.
make it
Okay.
thematic.
Okay. Put 1 into him then.
Yeah.
Easy.
There we are. Okay.
Okay.
He's on full profile, so he's all right.
So the Devastator makes the charge into the Chaplain. He's on full profile with Demon Forge. Can this Chaplain hold firm? Can he hold the line? He's held it before. If you've not seen that, go back and watch part 2 of Malignant Dawn. Yeah, and you'll see he holds the line pretty well. Anyway, let's move on to this fight phase.
Bit tenacious. So 5 attacks need freeze. Okay, 3 of them.
Okay.
It's strength 14, so I need 2s.
Yeah.
There we are. And it is -3, -2 for you.
So 4 ups either way.
He takes 3 damage.
Oh, I'm going to have to CP that. I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Oh. And with that, there's a flash of teleportation. And the Chaplain is wicked away back to the battle barge above Bumblebee Point. But that is how this story ends. The Emperor's children have made it through, although with heavy casualties. Lucius has fallen. A lot of the first company, what would have been the first company, have fallen, leaving the Legionnaires and the Noise Marines. But what were they here for? What will we find underneath Bumblebee Point? Well, let's find out at some point in the future.
I say, your characters were very heroic at the end, weren't they?
Yeah, all right, they're pretty good. So how did you find that? A bit different.
A bit different. It was, I figured I had to get everything up the board, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And be in your face and just keep pushing at you. You did the right thing though by coming out to
try to do a little bit of movement blocking and everything else like that. Try and prevent it a little bit and adding those, with the barricades there, trying to add 2 to your movement. But as I said to you off camera, looking at what you brought and knowing what I had, and could have changed it. I could have changed the list, whatever. We had a chat about it during the week, but it didn't feel right to me. I did promise myself that I'd run those aircraft after getting them, so I wanted to. Were they a good value for money? Probably not.
Probably not.
To be fair,
but then again, if you didn't split fire, they might have.
Overkill.
You
Yeah.
don't know,
No. And the thing is, if I'd have, a couple of ideas about how to use them, but equally, so I didn't think I was going to go the full 5 turns, but it did.
It did.
And it was. I think it's set up quite nicely for the next round.
And I will not take Lucius next round because there was no gloating in his kill. When you killed him, there was no gloating at all.
Mind you, I could never use that Chaplain again. It turned into Lucius. Who knows? he might be. Who knows?
Who knows?
But no. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you on the next one.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.